Alright guys, the Opponents 103 here, and today I'm going to be installing these Pioneer 6x9 speakers in my 2003 Honda Accord. Now, I got these for $45 on Amazon, and they should be pretty straightforward to install them. I don't really think you need that many tools, but I guess we'll find out. So, now let's take a look at what we have in the box. Alright, so here you can see we have the speaker itself. It looks like it comes with a little bracket in case you need it for your car. I also picked up this Metra speaker harness, which should work for most Honda vehicles. So that way I don't need to solder it or cut off any connectors or anything. And they should be able to fit right in these pins over here, as I'll show later on. But you can see these are, I don't know the exact specs, but they're 5-way speakers, which is much better than the like the paper standard one-way cone speakers that are typically in the back of those cars. Alright, so to start things off, you just want to go in the trunk right here, and you can see this is the original connector. You just want to squeeze these little things and you should be able to pull that out. Alright, there you go, it's disconnected, and you do the same thing on the other side. Alright, so the next step is to come into the back seat, and underneath these sort of grills or these mesh covers, that's where the speakers are going to be located. You can just take a flathead screwdriver and you should be able to slowly pry it up. You kind of just have to work it all the way around. Okay, so now this cover is removed and you can see where the rear speakers are. It did take quite a bit of force to pull it up, but it's really just held in with a couple of clips. So, I mean, be careful not to break them, but yeah, it shouldn't be that hard to remove. Okay, so next step, now that you can see all those 4 screws, you just want to get them removed with a ratchet and an 8mm socket. Also, one thing to point out is that this bolt right here is pretty hard to remove with a normal socket because of the cover here. But you could just use a normal wrench or a ratcheting wrench like this one is, and it should come out no problem. Now that all 4 of the bolts are removed, the speaker just comes right out. Alright, so with the speakers off the car, you can really see how much of a difference it actually is. This one is obviously a one-way, so it's only like the single speaker, where this one has 5 individual things for like the mids, lows, highs, all things like that. And if you flip them over, you could see the difference in the size of the magnet. So these should be a lot better sounding. So yeah, let's get them installed. Also, on the back side of the speaker, this is where you would attach your speaker harness here. So you can see one of the pins is bigger and the other is smaller. So you just plug those in, and this is what allows you to plug it directly into your car's existing harness. So you don't need to solder it, you don't need to cut anything. All you have to do is plug it in and you should be good to go. Okay, so now that we're back in the car, you just want to take the new speaker and line it up down there. Alright, so there it is, and all you have to do is line it up with the 4 holes and put the bolts back in. Okay, so the speaker is now installed on the left side of the car, still need to do the right side, but I know some people have said before that you might need to modify this cover here, but I didn't have to do that, at least for these speakers, that is, but I didn't have to modify anything. Some people might have to like cut the ridges off or the foam that's underneath there on the cover, but for me, I just put it on and just like hit it down with my hand and it fit right over it, so that's always pretty good. Now let's get to the other side. Okay, so now the other side is installed. It's the exact same thing as the first side. You just have to take out the bolts, put the speakers on, and then attach the harnesses. But now what I'm going to attempt to do is put some sound deadening material on the rear deck. In order to get access to that, which is underneath this right here, the metal part, you have to remove the seats. So first, you're gonna wanna go on either side. This is gonna be pretty hard to film, but there's a little black clip right there. And you have to sort of put pressure on the seat while pulling out at the same time. Helps you put a knee or just sit on the seat. And you could see, where is it at? That right there is what it looks like. And it pulls out like that. Maybe this will get a better angle. Yeah, so I already did this side, but that part of the seat pulls up. And right somewhere in here, where is it? Yeah, so right in between the two seat belts on the, what is this, the left side? The 10mm bolt. Might be pretty hard to see that, but right there is a 10mm bolt that you have to remove. Okay, so now with the two side clips and the middle bolt removed, all you have to do is just lift the seat up like that and sort of feed it through. Now this right here is where the bolt would go and attach to this little slot right here. But now you could just pull the seat out. Alright, so next up is to remove the side bolsters here. These are also held in with 10mm bolts. Right there. And right here for the other side. Okay, so now with the small bolts removed from the sides, you just want to take the seat from the bottom, or the side bolster here. You just want to hold it from the bottom like this and just pull it straight up, and you should see it sort of come loose at the top here. And you just want to work that upwards and pull it out like this, and it should come right out. You just have to do the exact same thing for the other side. Now what you want to do next is go in the trunk here, pull in this little latch, and then you should be able to fold down your seat. Okay, the next few steps I didn't film because I didn't even know if I could do it myself. Nobody really has any tutorials on that, but you need to take this cover off, you just pull it up. And this side cover right here, the trim comes right off. You just sort of have to start your fingers or start your hand under there and just pull it like really, really hard. Pretty much that's what I did for this one, and it came off. It's held in with a couple of clips. So this is the front side here. You just start under there, you pull it out, work your way up, and then stick your hand sort of in between it. Let me see if I could get this one. Yeah, so there's it coming loose, and I'm gonna have to use two hands, but you pretty much just start here and just pull it pretty hard and it comes right out. All right, so now both sides are off from the sides. And what you wanna do is to take off the center cover, you sort of have to feed the seat belt through, through these little slits here. Kind of hard to do, but you get the point. You just slip them through, and you should be able to just pull it off, I think. Yeah, it looks like it's held in with tiny clips here too. Alright, so the seat belts are out of those slots, and now you're gonna have to take these covers off again. So if you are doing this step and you want to do the sound deadening too, then I'd recommend that when you install the speakers, you don't put those covers back on, because now I have to take them off again. Alright, next up, you want to remove the rear third brake light. It looks like you didn't actually have to remove the white clips. I didn't remove them, probably because I can't figure out how to get them removed. But these little things right here will be sticking out, and you want to get a screwdriver. I already pushed it in, but you want to get a screwdriver and sort of pry
apply it like that so it moves upwards. And now you can see if I push from the bottom, the third brake light is now completely loose. Alright, so now the third brake light is removed and I managed to get the deck free. This is what the clips look like. It sort of loops around it, so you don't actually have to take them out. You sort of just pull the deck towards you and it comes right out. And now with that exposed, you could pretty much just put your sound deadening material wherever you want to. So I'll go do that right now. Okay, so now with pretty much the entire rear of the interior taken out, you can install your sound deadening material to remove any vibrations as a result of the bass and the new speakers and everything. Now, one thing that people use is Dynamat and other similar things. The Dynamat is really expensive. A cheaper alternative is to use roof flashing tape, but people say that like sometimes if it gets really hot out, the tar would melt and get everywhere and it smells really bad. But here's an alternative to that. This stuff is called Pella SmartFlash. It's the only, as far as I know, the only roof flashing tape that has aluminum face and uses butyl adhesive, which is the same thing as Dynamat, although it's obviously much thinner than Dynamat is. But this won't melt, this won't smell really bad in your interior, and it gives ultimately the same result depending on what you're looking for. Now this is only for the rear deck, so it might not be as loud in terms of road noise as say the door panel is. But if you don't have money for Dynamat, which I don't because it's really, really expensive, then this is the best alternative in my opinion. Now this stuff is available online or at Lowe's, which is where I got it. This was about $16 for a roll of 3 inches by 50 feet. So that's a really good deal, at least for what I'm using it for. Alright, well my phone is about to die here, but before I go I'll really quickly sum up what I'm about to do. So if you go on this, you could hear how much it vibrates, which is really bad if you want, you know, good bass in your car, and it just makes it sound better. So basically what you're going to do to apply this stuff is first clean off the material with either acetone or rubbing alcohol, which I'm using, to make sure it sticks really well. Then you're just going to peel and stick this down. If you want to apply it, like, to make sure it doesn't come off, you could either use a roller, or what I'm using is a tennis ball, so once I stick it on I could just roll it over, or you could even just press it down with your hand to make sure it sticks like good and doesn't come off. But yeah, I'll see you guys once I have it all done and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so now this is done for the most part. This is what I ended up with. Now what I've noticed is that a lot of the vibration seems to come from the back over here and also in the middle, not so much on the sides. So also I used up pretty much the entire roll. You're gonna find that this stuff won't really be it won't really be that effective until you use about like 5 or so rolls. I honestly lost track. But honestly, you could just play it by ear, I guess. Just keep on applying more until it vibrates as little as you want it to. So I don't know how well that picks up on the camera, but it does sound a lot better. So now all you have to do is put the interior stuff back on, which is the same order as the first part, but in reverse. Alright guys, now everything is fully installed and working again. I know in the last clip it was probably kind of hard to tell the difference that the sound deadening made, but when I'm playing bass heavy songs now, nothing at all vibrates except for my rear view mirror, which is a Broadway mirror. Before you could hear the metal shaking, the entire rear deck and everything just sounded horrible, but now, especially with the new speakers, it just makes a night and day difference. So anyways, if you liked the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Catch you in the next one, guys. Thanks.